Hey guys, hi. I'm getting a little message here from YouTube. It says, "Hey, your bit rate is wrong or something," and it doesn't tell me how to fix it. Just lets me know. So thanks. It's like criticizing. Hey, you suck. There's no. It's like the devil. He just tells you you're bad, but he doesn't tell you what to do. God, however, says if he tells you something, it's like that's wrong. He'll tell you a way to get it fixed. Okay. So I guess you're all wondering that. So I share. This is Mark Black. I'm glad to be here with you. I just messed up my little picture, but you can't tell. And this is Mark teaches. This place is Mark Teaches Music. This is my improv workshop. It is about 7:46. It's time to start. And so we're going to learn about adlibbing, and we're going to have a great time. And I want you to have a great time. Now, listen, in the description of this video are the links to the keys and the chart, and so you can play almost any instrument and find the notes. And it's written out. Guess what? It's written out in letters. It's I don't think we have anything. Yeah, for the alto sax, for example, we were playing in the key of A, the second song, and so that would be 3 sharps, and it's written out: A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp. You don't even have to read notes, which is kind of true for ad-libbing anyway. In a sense. Yeah, well, no, it is true. You don't have to read to ad-lib, although reading is great. And, I have a degree in oboe, so, I know you all hoping that you could aspire to be that too, but I'm saying, so I'm not scared of reading notes, but we don't have to read notes to ad-lib and improvise. So today is the 14th day of March in 2023, and I want you to have fun and be awesome. I know you can do that. Really, truly, I do know that. So for more information about lessons, I know you're all wanting that too. I want you to go to www.dallasmusiclessons.com, and there's information there about lessons, and you can contact us about lessons, us meaning me and my wife. And if you got any questions, you need to drop them in the comment thing. Duh, right there, right there, comments. Look at this. I see Tom. Tom's in Dallas. See, he has some sort of comments, and those are, I suppose, those are little tadpoles he wrote. He's a fisherman. He likes to hunt frogs, so he puts some tadpoles in his comment, and which is sweet, So anyway, questions, and if we're not live streaming, when you have your questions, just send me an email at mark@dallasmusiclessons.com. Mark@dallasmusiclessons.com. So listen. So in this improv workshop, this section of what we're doing today, we're not just improvising. We're not just ad-libbing. We're trying to learn. So what I'm saying is there'll be a little bit of teaching in there or suggestions and stuff. And so that's good. So if you got a request for a style or an instrument, like I haven't seen you play this so-and-so in a while, notes. Okay, I don't know what that means. But anyway, if you have a request for a style or instrument you hadn't seen me play in a while, or don't know if I can play, and I most very likely couldn't play it, just send me an email or put it in the comments, and I'll see what I can do. And actually, I have a current question here. I don't think we'll do it today because I'm playing the guitar in one of the songs, but about whether to put up the chart, let you see the chart in my video, or is it like rely upon you to pull up the chart? I think that's best, but that doesn't mean everybody's doing it. So anyway, I'm interested in y'all's comments about that. And if you like this, you need to hit subscribe. You need to hit the notification button. You need to send me Bitcoin. No, don't send me Bitcoin. Send me actual cash money. Well, maybe you shouldn't send that either. Send some sort of tangible good that will maintain value over the long run, and send me several of those. And please invite other people and share the links, and get other people to come to this. And it's a wonderful thing. When I was your age, I wish I'd have had a way to ad-lib with somebody helping me. And, nobody can hear you when you're ad-libbing right now in this live stream. So it's a very, very safe environment. You get to hear me. You get to hear me ad-lib, whether it's good or bad. And then you get to ad-lib and nobody can tell. You can just write in the comments, I was amazing. You were amazing. And we'll just have to believe you. So, like I said, there's links in the description to get all the keys, both the keys and the charts. And then, so don't just sit here. When it's your turn, we're going to go back and forth, back and forth. It's called trading. It may be trading. It's depending on the chart. We're trading 4s, we're trading 8s, and we're going back and forth for a length of time. I play some, you play some. I can't hear you play. Would love to hear you play, but I can't because of the way YouTube is set up. So, but don't, when it's your turn, don't just sit there. Jump right in and make mistakes. And, nobody can hear it. It's just you. So, and if you get stuck, you can't think of anything to play, sing. I'm going to sing in the second half. And not because, it will be good, but scatting as well as doing fills. You sing a song. Let's say you sing, when you go, Tom's here, so I'll go, Saturday in the park, think it was the 4th of July, yeah. If I went that, yeah, I'm improvising that, right? So improvising with the voice helps you put in fills and stuff like that, stick in things and have notes that sound good and stuff. So, but for the instrumentalist, the reason you would sing is because your ear is very close to what you would like to hear, either in your brain or in your heart. So that's a great thing to do. So and if you have questions like, oh, why'd you do that? Or that was cool, or I hated that. Tell me what that was, so I'll never do it. That'd be great. So I'm just saying, go ahead and shoot those questions in the comments right away. Don't wait, just so you can use it. You can say, okay, write it down. Never do this. So anyway, and don't be put off if you don't like a style. You figure out how to make it cool. Because I picked a stupid song. You're like, I hate this song. Well, you figure out how to make it great. And that's great. So, and same thing for instruments. You don't particularly like the instrument I'm playing. You don't like the fact that I'm singing, which is fine. I'm saying, we tend to learn things by listening to and playing with and playing like other instruments. So, when it's my turn, when I'm playing, listen. Not because it's necessarily so amazing. Hopefully it'd be good, but not because it's necessarily so amazing, but rather, you might think, oh, that was cool. Or you might react to what I play. Like, okay, he played really slow and it's kind of boring. I want to pick up the pace when I do it. So it's like using the feedback of the other person to give you great ideas. And before you're ad-libbing yourself, you want to listen to the changes. Yes, you can read the changes, but the whole purpose of reading the changes, or half the purpose of reading the changes, is absorbing, hey, this is what the sound is that's going to come up. So let's listen to our first song. It's called Fly Slow Pops. Yeah, it is. It's called Fly Slow Pops. It's only got 4 chords. And got to turn it on. Let me start it over. Well, that didn't do it, did it? Here it is. Let's try to start it over. So I want it's in A minor, the feel. Let's check this out. Goes down. And it ends up in a major chord. Happy. Then it walks back down. So you could say it's C major, you could say it's A minor. Those are relative major and minor. Here comes a C chord, home bass. Is it? Or is this home bass? So because of that, starts on the minor, ends on the major, relative major, major. So it's kind of like it's some tension there, not ugly tension, but interesting tension. Now the notes of the C scale are all you need to play this. There's no note, no chord using a note that's not in the key. Let's listen to it one more time. Hey, John. That's going to do that for about, I think, 13 minutes. So if I can find out, pause it. Okay, so just want to say here's the first chord and the notes. Remember, chords are built in thirds. So an A minor chord is built with, these are notes of C scales. There's no sharps or flats. And I'm talking fast, so I get a lot of A, C, E. So those was up, ba, ba, ba. I'm singing them, A, C, E. And then it goes down to the F. F, A, C, I'm using a letter, skipping a letter, using a letter, skipping a letter, using a letter. That's going to sound very safe. Over any chord, 1, 3, 5 will sound very safe. Then the 2 and the 6 will sound, and the 7, 2, 6, 7 will sound not ugly at all. They'll just sound more interesting, not better, just a little more interesting. Are you trying to be safe? You're trying to be interesting, and you don't have to figure that out, except maybe a few places at the end of a song or something. I say, what do I want to do? Then the G chord, ba ba ba, G B D, and then C E G. Those are the actual notes I'm singing, and you can play those, and it'll sound. So if I'm here, I'll sing the roots. There's the C. Ba ba ba, A C E, F A C, G B D, C E G. So if I was playing those, it sounds very good. Okay, here's just the guitar. So the alto sax is in the key of A, B flat instruments are in the key of D. I'm gonna put it down here. Hope that sounds okay. And this is the view I want you to see. And let's see if I can find it. Oh yeah, right there, baby. That's what I want you to see right there. All right, now this is for the guitar, stringed instruments, fretted strings. Okay, you want to start? And I'll start, and I'm going to take 2 times. Let's try with 8 measures apiece. It's the same progression, 4 measures. So we'll do the same progression, each one twice. We're trading 8s, and I'll start back over from the beginning. And here we go. Is it loud enough? Oh, I can't tell. It's my turn. Keep going. My turn. Your turn. Go. Hear it coming. You got 4 more. That's right. My turn. It's my turn. I'm going to pause a second and say, now the guitar is not a wind instrument, in case you didn't know. No, it's not a wind instrument. So it does not sustain well. Piano does not sustain well. Non-wind instruments do not sustain well. Well, you know, there's a few that do, like maybe the organ. But anyway, so playing long notes is a little harder, or a little that idea. So, but just by the way, so I'm going to play now. Just going to take this and play long notes. I'm not trying to do a guitar-centric thing. I'm just more like saying, okay, what if we didn't want to play so fast, or what if we wanted to be more epic? So I'm just going to play some long notes. Let's see what I get, and here's this coming up on my turn. 1, 2. Here I'm longer notes. Anybody can do that. And you try some epic long notes. Try. If it's a boring long note, go to another note in the C scale or the A scale or the D scale. Keep going. Take one more time. Long tones. You can also do spaces. Turn. Okay, it's my turn. We're going to do this again. Now, of course, we're not done or anything, but now we're going to talk about, in the beginning, we talked about the notes of the chords are the safest things. The piano, the guitar, they're playing those notes. They're going, oh, I don't really go quite into the F and the G. So they're playing those notes of the chords, and so if we play them, we'll also sound very secure. So we call those arpeggios when we play the notes of a chord individually or out of time. Another name for that is broken chords. So anyway, I'm going to take my turn. I'm going to play the arpeggio very slowly. So I'm going to play A, C, E over that. So you remember, play note, use the name of the note. It says G, for example. So you play the G, skip the A, play the B, skip the C, play the D. Experiment here with getting an arpeggio out. I'm going to take my turn here, and I'm going to play slow arpeggios to make the demonstration of that. So here it comes, I think. Let me try to back up 1 second. Yeah, here it goes. Because my A minor arpeggio. F, G, C, A, F, G. Sorry. You try. We're trying to figure them out. The FAC, some version of FAC, GBD, CEG, some version of that, ACE, A, C, G, B, D, C, E, G. Let's do it again. A minor, A, C, E, bum, 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 F, bum, 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 G, G, B, D, C, E, G. One more time. A, C, E, G, B, D. All right, it's my turn. We'll just go back to having fun. Your turn. Yes. All right. Your turn. Alright, it's my turn. What do I do it? Your turn. Go. That's right. Let's try this. Your turn. Okay, now I'm gonna stop for a second. We're almost done on this song. Now I want to just the opposite for a second. So we just said, of course, let's say on the F chord, F A C. That's safe, but it also sounds very like whoa, you boom, like that's what we're expecting. So we try that. So now let's try going away from 1 3 5. So anything but 1 3 5. And that, so on the G chord, anything but G B D. Now you're going to find for every chord The 4 is always going to sound not wrong, but you don't want to stay on the 4. So if I play this minor, I'm just going, and I'm playing the, there's over that, I'm playing a D. So I'll just make the sound here. Doesn't sound bad, it just doesn't sound quite as exciting. So everything but the 4. Now it doesn't mean we can use the 4. Yes, it's just we have to handle it a little bit. Anyway, so I'm going to do now. I'm going to try when I play the chords here. I'm going to try to stay away from. I'm going to play the A. I'm going to try to stay away from A, C, and D. Now there's some techniques to do that, but for now I'm just going to play another. I'm going to play a slow note. You know, that's not that note. So here I go. And let's see. I hope it backed up a second. Yes. Okay, so I'm just going to start. Here's the A minor. We'll start with the B. There's the A over G. There's the A over C. Your turn. Play notes other than 1, 3, 5. You can do it very slow. Okay, here's my turn. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna go D. Sorry, not the best thing. Over an F. A little odd. Your turn. Notes other than 1, 3, 5. Just try it. Go very slow. Got 8 more measures, I think. Four more. Okay, 4 more. I'm interested to see how this track ends. Yay! Good guys won, which is always good to know. Okay, now that was cool. Now, if you got questions about or statements about any of that, if you're live, you can ask me a question. And if you get this later, you can send me an email or you can do a comment. I'll find it either way. Okay, now we're going to change songs now. And we're going to go to a regular old blues in the key of C. And I'm going to turn off the guitar. It is off. And I'm turning my voice up into the on position. No, I'm turning my voice. I am turning the on position. I'm going to turn just a little bit of reverb in it. And reverb, it does cover a multitude of sin, but it just makes things sound a little bit better. And every album and pretty much every live performance you've ever heard in your life has got reverb on it. So I'm just saying one of the things you might say, boy, I don't sound that great, is just because there's no reverb on your voice. Now, in the chart, I experimented with, remember, I said the question, I don't know if we should use the chart or not. But this is, if I'm singing, which I am, I don't think it'd be such a big deal. So anyway, this is the chart with the keys, and I don't know, I couldn't possibly read that, but that's because my screen is about, I'm talking about the picture I'm looking at is about 2 by 1.5 inches for that screen. So that's got the notes for the different keys. This is the blues in the key of C. Now what we talked about before is that a blues in any key, on the 4 chord, we need to go to the parallel minor. So if we started in A major, blues in A, when we got to the 4 chord, we would go to A minor. So that would sound like bo-doo. So it would sound like do 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 4 chord, do 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 do, or give me a whole scale, do boo boo doo boo major, do 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 do. Then the 4 chord, ba 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 ba. I'll show you in a second. It'll sound just correct. Okay, but I'm going to be singing, so let's listen to our song. And actually, before I do that, I wanted to show you, you got on your chart that you have right now, it has on page 2, it has actually the progression pretty much of this song, which is right here. You see that right there. And so for the moment, we're not going to worry too much about, well, I'm going to leave it like this. Now you should have this is what we're doing here. C, F, C for 2 measures, F7 for 2 measures, C7 for 2 measures, G for 1, F for 1. And then this particular song has C, then A, and a D. Hey, 7, G. So it has a strong turnaround. This song, this chart we're looking at right here is a kind of a, not weak turnaround, but not as pronounced. So anyway, so for now, we're just going to get started, and we're actually going to listen to it first. So let's listen to it and see what amazing, interesting things occur. And the way to do that would be to find the thing with the sound. Oh, here we go. We're listening to this. We're going to listen into this. So this is sort of a Texas blues. It's the 1 chord. Here comes the 4 chord. Let's do it. Back to the 1. We're already back at the 1. Here comes the 5 chord. All right. The 4 chord. All right, there it is. 1. There's that. There's the D. Here's the top end. The reason to listen to this is because you're playing and you're like, you're anticipating that change there, back to home base. You could do it with your brain as opposed to your ear, but you'll do best if you could do it with your brain and your ear. You hear it and you see it. All right, so we're going to trade 12s. That is, we're going to go one time through the song. So I'm going to start. Yeah, do 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 do. Boo do 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 do. Bo 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 bo. Yeah, 4 chord. Yeah yeah yeah. Go. Make it groove. Don't feel like you have to play a lot of notes. You just gotta play in that groove. This time, I'm going to go, but I'm going to try something dramatic, but not fast. I said, Da 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 da. Now repeat it again because he must be cool. Now take it up. Make it cooler than I did it. My turn, and I want to make the point or remind everybody, and this is on this handout you all have. If you sign on in the description, it's linked. Anybody can get that. Talking about playing in minor keys. Now, so here we are in the key of C, and for B flat instruments that would be, of course, the key of D, and for E flat instruments that would be the key of A. And we said, and remember, the safest thing, not the best thing, but the safest thing is that you're in a blues in A major, B major, D major, F major. And if you use the notes of the minor pentatonic, X minor, G minor, even G major blues, use G minor, that means you go, and I'm going to, in key of C, it'd be ba, 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 ba. That will work through the entire song. The song will sound very aggressive. And then, however, as refinement, and it's on the second page of this handout, actually on the 1 chord and on the 5 chord built on the first note, which is C in this key, and the chord built on the 5th note, C, D, E, F, G, the G, the C and the G, you can do C major or C minor, and on the G chord, C major or C minor. And it's a little more complicated than that, but that's good enough. And so the point is, if you do that, you get a happy sound or a lighter sound, and then you can contrast it. When you get to the 4 chord, you have to use the minor on the 4 chord. So when you get to the F chord, you can go to the minor, the dark aggressive sound. So you can be like happy, and then I'm getting down, and then you can be happy again, you can be I'm getting down. And then I wrote in here, and it's true, that many soloists, in the beginning of their solo, for example, a lot of their solo blues people, they'll be like, hey, I am going back and forth major and minor, kind of happy and kind of tough, and then later at different places in it, they just kind of stick with minor for a good section. And people would say, whoa, man, now he really went for it. So I just want you to hear that, what that would sound like. And I'm just going to sing the scale, as I hope. Da, 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 da. Here's the major. Da, 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 da. And there's the 4 chord. Da, ba, 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 ba. That's first one, C major. Ba, 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 ba. Notice that sounds kind of happy. And then the C minor, ba, 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 sounds kind of aggressive. And here, back to the C major. Here's the C major. Ba, 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 minor. Ba, 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 ba 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 major ba 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 major ba 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 minor ba 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 major ba 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 ba. Now I am intentionally, or to hear the scale, it's kind of not exactly a great solo, but what I'm pointing out is that if you can get that, even if you got one note, right, what would be the difference, the key difference between C major and C minor? It would be E flat for C minor and E natural for C major. Even if you just went E flat on the 4 chord and E natural on the 1 chord and the 5 chord, we could hear that. So if in the key of D, we could be heard, an F on the 4 chord, in this case the G, this is for D, B flat instruments playing the key of D, and when you got to the 1 chord, you would play F sharp. Okay, so here we go. This is y'all solo, and I'm going to let you have it. I don't know where we are. I backed it up so we have more time. So. Sorry. Let me back up a little bit more. Okay. Let's measure 6. Measure 7, 1 chord. Measure 8. You got it. You're the solo. Measure 9. Measure 10. Measure 11. Measure 12. Keep going. It's you. That's the 4 chord. 1 chord. This. I was nibbling on sponge cake. I was watching the sun bake. All those tourists covered with oil. Strumming on my 6th string, on my front porch swing. Smell those shrimp that were beginning to boil. Wasting away in Margaritaville, searching for my lost shaker of salt. Who knew? Jimmy Buffett, he didn't know. It's your turn. 2, ready, go. Take it one more time. You got one more. Boom. All right, so let me stop that. And we're done. Okay, now just want to say we're done ad-libbing. We have the next part now. But so I want you to notice that we got, if we can go back and forth between a major and minor field, we get a little more variety, probably substantially important variety. And then in terms of that, we have those contrasts. We'd like to hear those contrasts and not just like one monolithic version. And again, if we did one song that was all minor, it'd be like, whoa, it's really cool and dark, and but like Stormy Monday, let's just say, that starts off happy. They call, that's the wrong key now. Let's see. Oh no, it is the right key. They call me Stormy Monday. And then the sad part. But Tuesday just as bad. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. So anyway, Now listen, if you got your questions, this is the time. I'm not going to make anybody ask you questions about ad-libbing, but this will be the time. So I couldn't figure out what to do. I couldn't figure out this and that. And I wanted to comment that learning to ad-lib and learning music is I'd say it's about equal parts. So let's go about ad-libbing. It's about equal parts of trying to understand. I read this, I heard this, I'm trying this, and then just do it. You know, you're ad-libbing and it just sounds stinky, or that part sounded really good. What was that? So I'm just getting at that we're doing sort of most people who just read and just try to understand progress slowly, and most people who just play and don't understand anything. Lots of people it's never gonna sound very good. Now that is not a prophecy, because there's some people who can make both of those ways work, but I'm just saying 85% of people could not. All right, now we're going to do what we call to play and sing, which is the other part of our live stream. And so anyway, questions. And so I want all your questions about anything about music, and I certainly reserve the right to say I don't know, do not have a clue. Already have two very good questions, so I'm ready. You got any questions over here? I'm looking over here. And all right, so here is the first question, and it's a great question, and it is: can I develop perfect pitch, or how do you develop perfect pitch? Can I develop perfect pitch? If it's developable, how do I develop it? So the short answer, the quick answer, is no, you cannot. But that is not absolutely true. You should say more of it. It's a question in with conflict, or people say yes, no. Rick Beato, who's a wonderful musician, as you guys know, I imagine, has his son, and again, this is the typical perfect pitch kid growing up. His son, Lennon, has perfect pitch, and the typical person, I'm giving you an example of why most people cannot develop perfect pitch. The typical is his son's exactly example, is phenomenal ear, but it's the typical thing. Grow up in not just a musical family, but a very musical family, and you're presented with musical styles, musical things, and it's a lot of different music and a lot of interesting music, and so music is my kids sort of grew up in a maybe more of an artistic, so there's all kind of, and so it's like, oh, what about that? What about that? What about? So the kid growing up so this is the typical how a person without knowing they're developing perfect pitch does. They're young, they're very young, they're hearing all kind of music, and they're looking for identity with what is that sound. And so perfect pitch is actually pitch memory. I can remember what an A sounds like. I can remember what an F sounds like. I can remember what a C sounds like. So Lennon, his son, has got perfect pitch and has had it for a long time. And again, as I understand it, and I think I saw one of Rick's videos that was like this. It's like, Rick wasn't like anticipating that. It's like you just kind of discover, oh my gosh, whoa. And it's not just perfect pitch, it's phenomenal perfect pitch in the sense that he can hear, very, very complicated things and name all the pitches and all that kind of stuff. So it's really great. It seems that most people cannot develop perfect pitch after the fact. Now, I have several things to suggest to try. So a couple of things. And one great question is, how important is it to have perfect pitch? And so I wish to talk about myself now. So only because, all of my musical life, I said I did not have perfect pitch, and I felt like I did not have perfect pitch. And I believe Rick is pretty adamant, like you cannot learn perfect pitch. And I think in general, that's exactly correct. And and we'll continue with this idea because we're talking about can you learn, and I'm going to say some things here so you could try to do. But I did notice all my musical life in music school and other things is like I would be very uncomfortable doing things in certain keys. I'm talking about like us singing. I'm not talking about we're playing a symphony and I'm mad at the key. I just mean we're singing a song and I'm having trouble kind of. And couldn't understand why I was having that trouble. Anyway, weirdest thing in the world to me, just the strangest thing in the world. But about 2 or 3 years ago, I discovered that I love Steely Dan and listening to Steely Dan, and I noticed that on the side that, hey, I can sing a lot of these. I mean, when I start to sing these Steely Dan songs, I'm singing them in the correct key. I'm not. It's not. It's not just, one time I do it in F, next time I do it in E flat, and next time I do it in B flat. No, it's the correct key. Sometimes it's a half step off, but it is correct. And we're fixing, sadly, we're fixing to have an experiment here where we see if I can remember, I don't actually, maybe it's not fair now because I can remember, and you can remember the key we were just playing in. The key we were just playing in, that note, I'm going to tell you right now, that's a C. What I want you to notice, that note is still hanging in your ear. How many people, seriously, if you're here, if you can remember, here's the note, the first song we're playing. The blues just says, if that sound is hanging in your ear, say so in the comments. That sounds like the right sound. Remember, we hadn't played it now. It's been 7 minutes since we played any play C. But if that note's still hanging in your ear, put it in the comments. I'm fixing to reach over and play a C. No sound. We'll never know. No, I'm kidding. Yep, there it is. So I'm commenting. First off, here's that key C hanging in our ear. We remembered it for 7 minutes. Now, I was going to do the song. My song to remember the key of C is I Got the News. And and that song, I can remember the key of C. So, but I discovered that about 3 years ago. And so anyway, and as I started to try to pursue that and see how far I could get with that and how many things could I remember, here's what I want to point out is sometimes I'm off and sometimes I'm on, but it has helped me in searching for that. Perfect pitch, yes, or but trying to get closer to the original pitch. It has helped me a lot to hear other things, to hear harmonies better, to hear what is the second guitar doing, what are the violas doing, what would be how should I change the rhythm to be more interesting? So it's like I'm listening more and more and more. And so this is back on the question, which I haven't asked yet. I'm fixing to answer right now. What is the benefit should we get perfect pitch? And in an absolute sense, no, you don't need. We use in music. We're not using it. We're not going like that. So we did make it. Dun, dun, dun. We're not going dun, and now go down one whole step. No, don't go down 2 whole steps. Ba ba ba. We're really saying, ba, go to the 4th note of the scale. Now go to the 5th note of the scale. Now go to the 1st note of the scale. Now go down to the 6th note of the scale. Now, yes, it is a whole step and like that. It is these intervals, but it's not that we're hearing the intervals. We're hearing the relationship. And you guys who are musicians know that that's called relative pitch. Relative pitch. Tom says, he doesn't know. I understand. I'm really trying to say about that kind of thing. Try to pull that out. Try to what is my first note on this song I haven't played today, and it's not like you're gonna get a little metal, It's that it may help you. I think it would help us to be more to adlib better, to be able to hear what does the 6th sound like in Dorian minor, raising the 6th. What does that sound like? So anyway, do we need to get perfect pitch? Now I'm telling you, great way to get rich is I could do a series on how to get perfect pitch, and I bought them before and was very unsuccessful at it. 30 years ago, And so I'm commenting that in general, I don't think most adults can develop perfect pitch. I think some people may have latent perfect pitch and not really noticed it. I think in my case, I would just say I didn't have a name to I didn't know this sound. I believe what Rick said about Lennon was that at first he would say this pitch is he would name the song. It's this song, and he had to learn. Okay, this song is a E flat or whatever like that. So so most grown-ups cannot do it, but I think some grown-ups have it kind of latent, undeveloped. How good can they develop it? I don't know. For me personally, it's an experiment. It's in progress to see. And then how important is it? I think it helps you not tune your guitar because you don't need an E. You just hear an E. But rather it makes you more sensitive, more paying attention to more things. And that's a great thing to do. But the bottom line, too, is that great relative pitch that I would hit ba 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 ba. I don't know what those notes are. I just know that if I started on this note, I got up, there's my minor and there's the re 6 for Dorian minor or a minor 6 chord, either one. Relative pitch, comparative pitch is how music works and it's the most important thing. So I'm encouraging you that's to happen. But then perfect pitch has a beautiful place, I think, in developing your ear if it can be mastered. Now I'm going to tell you a couple ideas to make that possible. Maybe we'll see. So first off, I want to tell everybody when you hear a song and somebody goes, start spreading the news, whatever song, I'm begging it, please, or I'm down on my knees, I want to be a part of it, and they hear this song is in key X. When you sing it, don't sing it in a different key. Sing it in that key. Sing it in the key that you hear in your head. So again and again and again, people hear a song in their head. They heard it on the radio. I'm talking about right now, hearing it. And then they sing it as they're going, you just heard it go, start spreading, and they'll go like, start spreading the news. And so that is like anti-perfect pitch. Now, every good musician, except for some places where they only use capos, knows that they need to be able to play a song in any key, and that's not and it's no big deal. I change the key, I sing it in a different key, it doesn't matter. So that, again, that relative pitch, comparative pitch is very important, very useful. Just want to say that, so if we can get the two things, that's what we want. So anyway, don't change the key of a song. I'm talking about in your own singing. Now, I'm ignoring for a moment, let's say it was too high and stuff like that. So I'm just saying, hey, try to sing in the original key and at least try to remember that original key. And I'm talking about the sound of it. So I'm talking about how to develop perfect pitch. If it's possible, I don't know. Perhaps what we're doing is just getting better relative pitch. That's okay. I'm for that. If that's all I get, I'm pretty happy with that. So another thing to do is walk up to your instrument every day and you can play the note C. You walk up to a piano every day, point at a C. I'm serious. You point at a C and then you play it every day. And you walk up to it every day. You point at it and then you play it. And you point at it and you play it. And you point at it and you play it. Every day after day after day. And after a month or two, I want you to walk up to it and point at it and don't play it, but sing it. I'm sorry. Point at it, play it, and sing it. You go. Point, play, sing. Ba. Do it every day for a couple of months. And see if you can't get to where you can point at that note and sing it and don't have to play it. And that would go on your guitar, play a C, and do the same thing. Put it on your instrument. If you're going to play a transposing instrument, a B flat or E flat instrument, play concert C. Make sure it's make sure it is the real C. Other than that, you're not going to be happy if you develop perfect pitch and name all the notes wrong. So again, for everybody, I'm not saying this will give you perfect pitch. I think if you had latent, if that is real, again, that's a question. Is it real? I don't know. It seems kind of real with me to be sort of mildly, not imperfect pitch, but just, not perfectly perfect pitch. But anyway, the point is I think it will bring if that is if that's viable, it will help bring that forward. And then stop singing songs in the wrong key. And I'm just talking about, don't change it just cause for no reason, sing it in the right key in the short term. And then if you need to change it, of course, to actually sing it, then do that. Okay. So, and then the importance of perfect pitch, I think it seems to help a lot with hearing better, hearing more precisely, but it is not at all necessary to be a great musician. I don't know what the percentage is. It's certainly all the great musicians in the world did not have perfect pitch and do not have perfect pitch at all. Okay, second question. Last question. I don't see a question over here. Last question. Okay, so this is true. Okay, so two musicians are walking down the street, okay? And one says to the other, "Who was that piccolo I saw you with last night? Who was that piccolo I saw you with last night?" Another replies, "That was no piccolo, that was my fife." Oh, yeah. I maybe have to be a certain age for that. I don't know. Thanks, John. I'm going to say it one more time because I know you guys, some of you are slow. So let's try it again. Two musicians are walking down the street, see? And one says to the other, "Who was that piccolo I saw you with last night?" And the other one says, "Oh, that was no piccolo. That's my fife." Okay. That's good, John. "That's no piccolo. That was my fife." Okay, so you have to remember, I told you these musician shows. Okay, so my name is Mark Black. This is Mark Teaches Music. You have just listened to, hopefully, the Improv Workshop and our Q&A. So if you interested in information about lessons, go to www.dallasmusiclessons.com. And if you got any questions, leave me in the comments. Send me an email at mark at dallasmusiclessons.com. Now, of course, what you're supposed to do is hit the notifications, hit subscribe, leave me some sort of, I'm saying, tangible good, like gold or something like that. Let's see, all that kind of stuff. I can't think of any other monetary thing that I want at this moment. Anyway, so do that. And as always, until I see you again, I want you to have fun and I want you to be awesome.